All right, Haley, I'm going to take a look at this underwater video from a couple days ago. Then I'm going to look at the ones we did yesterday and just go through a couple things and just refresh some things. So if we take a look at this dolphin action, and you've got fins on in this one, so it maybe makes it a little easier to do, but this is the first day. The idea is that you're trying to use this as a leveraging tool. So as you kind of articulate up, which means you take the spine and you shift it up, you're basically pushing down or popping down. You don't push too hard. And then when you, again, do it in the opposite direction here, so as you start putting pressure on here to articulate in this direction, you again move the spine in a way, again, as I explained, just sends this wave down your shape. It really helps, and it probably hopefully makes sense here. When you have this downbeat occurring right in here and you're applying pressure, again, you're creating these vortices that shift the shape forward. You really want to sort of think of, as you're in the end of this downbeat, you want to be going into that next press. And the reason being is if you're in the end of the downbeat, it gives you that sort of leveraging ability to really use the combination of this and this to articulate that. And so that combination makes it easier because you've got kind of leveraging points on both sides. If you wait to the end of this little pop before you begin that leveraging action to kind of articulate the chest downwards, then you don't have as much leveraging ability. So I find it's best to feel like that when you're at the end of this downbeat, then you really want to already be initiating this articulation in that direction. And that really helps give you, because this is the hardest way to go. It really is. And you'll find when I show you your comparison video from the other day, this is where you struggle the most. So kind of having both points as a leveraging, kind of working together to help that leveraging action, I think it really works for you. But for the most part, there's a fairly decent articulation and a downward action. If we take a look at a comparison, this is kind of confusing. This was when you kind of went out from the starting blocks and kind of went in the direction, and I think Ali was filming you. I said, come on back, and this is you coming back. Now, I've flipped this film. This film has been flipped 180 degrees, and the only reason is to kind of make them both go in the same direction, which I think is very helpful when you do this. But they are a good side-by-side comparison. So if you take a look at the top one, you'll notice that there's not nearly as much articulation in that downbeat. And whereas on the bottom one, you get a little more articulation in the downbeat. There's a little more chest depression during this period. But you'll notice in both times that it takes you to me, it looks like you're articulating after the downbeat is done, and that makes it hard. So probably the biggest thing that I can share with you today is you know that you're using this as a leveraging platform. So this is your leveraging platform to articulate that way and that way, and then that essentially is the initiation of the wave or the harmonic that goes out of your tail. But it really helps, especially on this downbeat, to initiate that leveraging action in this direction before these feet end up in the downbeat, because doing them afterwards, kind of you lose your potential in that area.